everyone. It's Enjoy English School.
Yay.
Today is August 5th, and we're on pages 12 and 13. It's day 2 of the book club, and our title today is Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus.
那我们今天8月5号在第12、13页，我们要接续昨天好书俱乐部的主题，继续来讲这个仙人掌女孩的故事。
So yesterday I mentioned that I would explain our title because it's a boring title. It is, but that is the point. So the title of the book actually is not from our author, it's from the publisher. And she suggested it. She said, this story is really about a person wanting just to be not special. Avon doesn't have arms, and she doesn't want you to see her opening the door with her chin or cutting things with her feet as special or different. She wants to be just a regular person that lives in Arizona. That's a desert where lots of cactuses grow. She's not a special person. She's just like you and me.
所以老师说他这一本书的这个书名，你可能会觉得，怎么这么无聊啊？这个女生那么特别，可是她这个书名取得怎么这样？这个书名呢，它其实是老师刚刚讲 publisher 出版社他定的书。为什么呢？因为他其实就是想要强调说，这个女孩她就想要跟我们 regular people 一样，我们正常人一样，她就是过她正常，然后非常平凡无奇，每天 daily life 的生活。
That's right. Think of if you had to live your life without arms. Think of what, like we talked about yesterday. Brush your teeth, eat dinner, open the door, close the door, do your homework, go into the MRT, open a car door. All of these would be very difficult things for us, and they would be special. But for Avon, they're insignificant. They're not special or important, and she doesn't want you to think she is weird because of that.
所以她就是想要跟正常人过一样的生活。她跟我们一样，每天都需要刷牙、洗脸、上厕所、做功课、上班、工作。所以她也希望我们就把她当作是一般人一样看待。
All right, let's hear our story, and when we come back, we got paragraph 1.
Insignificant events in the life of a cactus. The topic of this novel was inspired by the personal experiences of the author Dusty Bowling. She had a cousin in the military. While he was fighting in battle, he was seriously wounded. After she learned that he would lose an arm, Bowling started thinking about how his life would change. Although her cousin sadly passed away soon after, the idea for a story was planted firmly in her mind. A few years later, she saw an online video of a woman who showed the world how she handled everyday tasks without arms. The fact that the determined woman refused to be beaten by her disability inspired Bowling to create the character Avon. After she finished writing the book, Bowling asked this woman and another armless YouTuber to read it and check if her descriptions were accurate. In the novel, one of the friends that Avon makes at her new school has Tourette's syndrome. It is a condition that causes people to make sudden movements or sounds. Bowling created this character because her husband and daughters have a condition that is similar to Tourette's syndrome. With this novel and its special characters, she hopes that readers can learn more about the lives of people with disabilities and develop empathy for them.
Okay, friends, as always, have your blue pen ready so you can write things down. Let's begin paragraph 1. The topic of this novel was inspired by the personal experiences of the author Dusty Bowling.
那这本小说主题的灵感来自于作者达斯蒂·宝林的个人经验 personal.
So, I know we talk about inspired regularly. I think on August 1st, I even said, just hurry up and learn this word. If you look at Enjoy English Magazine regularly, you will definitely see inspired by. If you read this, you will see this. And when we are inspired, that means you get the creative energy to do something.
所以当你有灵感的时候，就代表说你感觉到一个创造力，好像突然间知道要做什么了。
That's right. She had a cousin in the military.
所以这边告诉你说 ，she 也就是指我们的小说作者这个人，然后他呢有一个在军队服役的表弟。
So the military means you are a soldier in the army or the air force. The military is all of them because there are a lot of names. So you can just say they are in the military. We don't usually say he's a soldier or she's a soldier. We just say they're in the military.
所以这边的 military 它概括了海陆空，对，
All right.
只要他是在军中服役都可以叫 military。
Oh, also, Dusty Bowling is not a pen name. You might remember pen name means they don't want to use their real name, so they create a different name.
笔名。
That's right. So J.K. Rowling, I think it's like Joanne something. So, but she always calls herself J.K. Rowling in her books. I thought Dusty Bowling was a pen name. That's her real name.
所以这个作者他是用他真实的名字来出书。
回程的保龄球. I was like, there's no way that's real. That's a real name. All right. While he was fighting in battle, he was seriously wounded.
所以当他在一场战役中打仗的时候，他身负重伤。
So, 最近 I thought of a new way to teach continuous tense. 那个进行式. And because kids always remember 那个现在分词, they always remember the V-I-N-G in your 进行式, but they always forget the B. So every time I say like a continuous tense, 现在进行过去进行, I'm like B-V-I-N-G now. And like, do you see me just naturally do it? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just reading an article, I'm like, was fighting.
职业病。
I make my students do this too. If they don't do it, it's wrong.
所以他如果在考试的时候，他就会
Yes, that's right. Because 他们忘了 be 动词. So 这个是 be, 这个是 V-I-N-G, and then 你可以检查是检不检出来. You take your fingers, 你碰到 B-V-I-N-G. That's how you check it. B-V-I-N-G. Go. I'm super serious. I just like...
我觉得你很适合当那个 baby yoga teacher. Like everything is like super
There's always a movement.
yeah,
All right.
creative.
So he's in a battle. He was fighting. He was seriously wounded. When you are wounded, this means you are seriously hurt.
受伤了。
That's right. Now, a wound can be small or very serious. It can be life-threatening. So right now, we just know he was hurt.
所以这边的 wound wound 如果单纯只用 wound， 它也可以是名词，代表一个 cut 一个伤口。可是这个伤口它可以是小小伤口，也可以是很严重的伤口。
This is not wound, W-O-U-N-D, wound. It means 转. This is wounded with a long double O, like moon. You should write down the word moon, M-O-O-N, so you remember how to say this tricky word. Our next sentence, after she learned that he would lose an arm, Bowling started thinking about how his life would change.
在这边的 learn 呢，不是指学习哦，是代表说他知道了这件事情。所以当得知他将失去一只手臂之后 ，Bowling 就是我们的作者开始思考他的这个生活会发生什么样的变化。
Okay, look at the word lose. This also uses that long double O like wounded. You should also write the word moon here. This is not lows. This is lose. Moon, wounded. 写下来.
读音都是长的。
All right. She started thinking. We could also say she started to think. But this means really it feels like 刚开始. When we say started thinking, it feels like we're talking about the whole process, every little part. It feels very long.
所以我们如果以文法上 start to think 是没有问题的，但 start to think 是刚开始思考。但如果我们用 start thinking， 感觉他好像把所有的小细节都想过了一遍，感觉思考的时间跟思路更缜密、更长。
Our next sentence, although her cousin sadly passed away soon after, the idea for a story was planted firmly in her mind.
虽然他的表弟不久后就不幸去世了，但是创作这个故事的想法却牢牢的扎根了在他的心中。
All right, so passed away means died. But this is a very soft way of saying it because when you say like your family, your pet dies or is dead, it feels very strong. So we have this soft word, passed away, just like 过世 in Chinese.
对。
死了。It's like,
对，老师中文真的很好。对，它是比较有礼貌的用法。
That's
Pass
right.
away.
All right, pick up your blue pen. Minnie, you know what I'm going to say next, right? So although means 虽然但是 you can pick one in English. Don't say both.
对。
Although, comma, but is wrong in English.
对。
Don't say that.
没错，所以虽然但是在英文里面选择一个写。
That's right. 虽然还是但是 in English. So underline was planted firmly in her head. That just means it was stuck in her head. She would not forget this. All right, very nice. All right, with that, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we got paragraph 2. Okay, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 12 and 13, and it's day 2 of the book club. And here we're talking about the insignificant events in the life of a cactus. So for us, Avon's life must be very special. But to her, it's just a regular day. And she doesn't want you to think she's very special. A few years later, she saw an online video of a woman who showed the world how she handled everyday tasks without arms.
几年后，他看到一段网络影片，内容是一个女子向全世界展示了她如何在没有手臂的情况下处理日常事务。
Dude, I think I saw this video because I read more about Dusty Bowling, and when her cousin was in the military, he was wounded and then he passed away. And then there was a video I remember of a woman, like there was like a news show that showed how she lived without arms.
Oh.
And I remember I couldn't believe this. She was holding a knife with her feet and she was cutting carrots like you and I cut carrots. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And I did not want to like make that woman feel embarrassed or bad, but I was like wide-eyed and my jaw was open like, wow, she does everything we do with her feet or her face. And it looked really normal to me. And I think this was the same video because it was like a news video. So anyways, seeing someone, like you can pull up YouTube after your show today and watch a person cutting with their feet. It's crazy. There's holdings, that. Yeah.
所以老师说，他可能也有看过，就是跟作者看到同样的一支影片，它是一个 news， 就是一个新闻，好像是有去refer 到他的这个影片。
Yeah, I'm sure you can Google it. I probably should have it ready up, but I don't.
没关系，打上 keyword， 现在小朋友都很厉害。
Yeah, that's right. So she handled everyday tasks without arms. We saw tasks in the past. That just means your work or your job.
任务。
When you handle everyday tasks, that means you do these regular things. Everyday 这边 is one word. It's an adjective. It just means normal.
所以 handle 这个字蛮重要，处理。我们在这个月的之后也会看到这个字，它用另外一个片语的形式，deal with 出现，对，所以都是处理的意思。
All right. The fact that the determined woman refused to be beaten by her disability inspired Bowling to create the character Avon.
所以这个影片里面，这位意志坚定的女性拒绝被残疾打倒，这一个事实就启发了宝林创造出 Avon 这个角色。
So determined is an adjective. It means I won't give up or quit.
这个 adjective 这个形容词也非常好用哦。如果你在写你的自传的时候，你也可以说哦，就是我是一个意志坚定的人。
Refuse to is a verb phrase that means I won't do it. Little kids often refuse to do things and you can't make them change their mind.
Or refuse to eat healthy food.
That's right. Here you go. Like they refuse. Little kids are the best at refusing things.
Oh yeah.
All right. So she refuses to be beaten by her disability. A disability in English means something about your body, maybe about your mind that you usually can't do everything like everyone else. There is something unique that makes your life a little harder.
Ability 其实就是能力的意思。我们在前面加了个 dis 的字首，就变成好像没有能力，但是其实 disability 它其实就是把它翻译成身障，或者是说代表它有一些不方便。
Archie, we have that word inspired again. It gives you the creative energy.
没错。
Here we go. After she finished writing the book, Bowling asked this woman, the YouTube person, this woman and another armless YouTuber to read it and check if her descriptions were accurate.
哇哦！所以在写完这本书之后呢，我们的作者宝玲呢，甚至请了这位女子跟另外一位没有手臂的 YouTuber，就是一个他也是在网络上有 po 他自己做事情的这个 YouTuber 阅读，然后检查他的描述是否准确。
I remember in our Eat a Bag article on August 1st, we talked about the bags were painful.
Yes.
And they go full J way. That means it's an adjective.
形容词结尾。
It's F-U-L, not F-U-L-L. Here, the opposite is armless, L-E-S-S. And this is another adjective. We don't say less, we say less.
less。
So full means a lot of, and less means no. Not 少一点, it means no. She doesn't have arms.
对啊，所以最常见的相反词也有 careful， 就代表你很小心 ；careless 就代表你很不小心。
The word accurate just means correct, accurate. 这个是 A-T-E, but because this is an adjective, 你不要说 accurate, it's accurate. Adjectives will 发 it. If it's a verb, A-T-E 会发 ate.
所以在动词的时候的发音是 ate， 在形容词的发音是 it。
That's right, because the verb is to eat, ate, right? All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we got paragraph 3. All right, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 12 and 13. We're starting paragraph, I said 3 before because 开玩笑, of course it's 3, but just in case you don't know, 外国人会说 1, 2, 3, okay? We will sometimes 开玩笑. In the novel, one of the friends that Avon makes at her new school has Tourette's syndrome.
好 ，Tourette's 就是妥瑞氏症，所以他说在小说中 ，Avon 呢，他有在新学校认识另外一个朋友患有妥瑞氏症。
That's right. So maybe you know about Tourette's, maybe you don't. Usually these people have sudden tics or movements. They're usually very large. And I have taught quite a few students with Tourette's syndrome. And I know my young students would down around, they'll say, oh, 你看不一样, and they'll kind of laugh about that. But I don't want that student to feel bad. So I had to learn how to kind of deal with or handle students making fun of them. And you know what the best way I do is I make fun of the students. Because it's like I can tell them, well, we're all different, but I don't want the students to pay attention to the person that has Tourette's. They can't control that big movement. So I found me making fun of the student that is being naughty is the most effective.
OK，
I will just dunk on that kid super hard. Like, why don't you look at yourself with your shoes? Look at you. You got a 85 on your last test. Like, that's the only way to do it.
这叫做以毒攻毒。
Is that? I don't know. Probably other teachers are like, wow, that's terrible.
以牙还眼。
That's right. Listen, if you make fun of someone, you better be ready because I'm going to make fun of you too. So be ready because I'm the king roaster in my classroom.
所以妥瑞氏症，老师刚刚有说，就是一些他没有办法控制的一些神经的反应，
That's right.
就是他如果有一个 tic， 就是他可能突然动作很大， 甚至他会
that's right.
突然间发出吧的声音。
Yeah. And 我们不是笑他们. I want to be very clear. That movement and that sound, they can't
对
control
他们没有办法去控制它。
That's
那
right.
有很多小朋友会因为可能害怕，或可能因为无知而
They
去
don't understand.
他们不懂，他们无知嘛 ，ignorant， 所以他去嘲笑人家。老师说最好方法就是嘲笑别人那个人，他去调侃他。
I don't know how other teachers deal with it. For me, because kids think I'm a funny teacher, what I do is I just make fun of the other kid
对
being rude because it's like, why don't you look at yourself
True.
before you
True.
before you criticize someone
对，
else?
所以这个就是教育里面很难的事情。
So sorry, other teachers, if you don't do that. It's just, I mean, 我们都知道 teachers. We all have our own way of handling the classroom.
True.
All right, here we go. It is a condition that causes people to make sudden movements or sounds.
所以后面这个句子，它就是在补充说明前面讲到的妥瑞氏症。他说这是一种导致人们突然间做出动作或发出声音的疾病。
Oh, also syndrome means 这个症状, they all happen together. So it's like not just one thing, Tourette's is a few things together that makes a person like this. So a syndrome means a few different problems together.
比较常听到跟 syndrome 有关系的，例如像 Down syndrome，就是
there you go. Yeah, Down syndrome.
对，就是它也是一个症状嘛。
Yeah. All right. Sudden means when someone isn't ready. It's突然. And movements we saw in the past, and we talked about那个Jay-Wei making it a noun. Bowling created this character because her husband and daughters have a condition that is similar to Tourette's syndrome.
所以宝玲之所以创造这个角色，是因为她的丈夫跟女儿患有类似像妥瑞氏症的这个疾病。
All right. With this novel and its special characters, she hopes that readers can learn more about the lives of people with disabilities and develop empathy for them.
Empathy 是很重要的字，代表说同情。所以借由这一部小说跟他的特别的这些角色，他希望呢借由他的故事，让读者更能够了解残疾人士的生活，并且对他们产生同情 empathy。
In English, we have a very common idiom, Chenyu, about empathy. Put yourself in their shoes. That's right, exactly. Put yourself in their shoes, or walk a mile in their shoes. That means if you can't live the same life they live, then probably you don't understand all of their problems. And I think everybody should try to remember this when you see something or you want to criticize peeping, because sometimes you don't know why other people do certain things. It might annoy you or you feel it's bad, but if you don't know why they're doing it, maybe there's a very good reason.
所以 put someone in someone's shoe 就代表说你可以感同身受，对，你要有同理心，你要换一个角色去看别人的生活，你可能就会更懂说为什么他今天会有这样的反应。
I remember in America, maybe in Taiwan too, you can buy bags of vegetables that are already cut up. They're already cut up. They're more expensive. They usually have a little bit of like preservatives and salt in it. And I'm like, why would anybody buy this? This is so stupid. 多一个塑胶袋，
多一
cut
个
up.
盒子，
Yeah,
又
that's
不
right.
新鲜。
It's less fresh. Why would anybody buy this? To me, this was like the dumbest thing. And then I learned a lot of really old people buy this because they can't cut food really well anymore, but they want to eat healthy. And what I learned is that I was thinking about myself. I wasn't thinking about others. And this taught me something important about empathy and putting myself in someone else's shoes.
这是一个很好的结论对啊，你细细想想看，你觉得为什么有已经切好的水果，除了给那些懒惰不想切的人以外，可能还有身体不方便的人，或者是一些老人，他们想要吃的健康，可能没办法自己处理的时候，这就是一个很好的 alternative 替代方案。
Yeah, and now I look at those veggies different, and those veggies remind me to think about others. For Enjoy English School, I am Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.